I spoke to someone recently about team connection and conflict, and there was a huge opportunity for error that showed up in the conversation where I want to talk about today in this video that I think was going to help somebody out there to be a better leader and to expand your understanding of how to work with your team and truly create unity, ultimately resulting in the results that you're looking for. Hi, my name is Jason Ellinger. I'm the CEO of Taika Translations. We're a multi-million-dollar translation, digital services, and interpretation company, and I've been doing this for about 10 years now. And what I spoke to my friend about was when you're working with a team to connect them, to truly unify them and launch forward in an objective, one of the fundamental area of connection that you have to access and to build and to cultivate is vulnerability-based trust. The error that my friend was uncovering in the activity that they were talking about was we want to drive straight to the conflict too often. As leaders and as hard chargers and as people who want to get out and get stuff done and make some noise in the marketplace, you might grab your team members in a meeting and drive straight to conflict and start cultivating conflict in the conversation because you heard somewhere that conflict has to be drawn out and addressed. And that's true 100% of the time. However, it has to be undergirded by something, and that is vulnerability-based trust. If you drive directly in your staff meetings or in your executive meetings and you drive straight to conflict before you have built vulnerability-based trust, I know it's a long first word and my tongue gets tied on that one, you will trip up your team, you will ostracize people who you're trying to unify, and you will create deep ruts in boundaries in the hearts and minds of the people that you're trying to lead, and they will oppose one another after your meeting, and they will be afraid in the future to go to the same area and experience such a meeting again with such unpleasant outcomes. Because if you don't start with vulnerability-based trust, making sure that you show up for that team member and that they know why they're showing up for their team and they know what you're going after, or make sure when they have a birthday or their child is sick or maybe their dog is ill and they value those things deeply, that you are connecting with them and you understand and you're demonstrating empathy and you're building trust into your team as they build trust in you. Our teams reciprocate our same activities. So if we trust and love on them, they're going to trust and love on us over time if they're great team members. If they don't, that's cause for a different conversation. But in the grand scheme, if you're leading a team and you're cultivating the vulnerability-based trust to where we understand that we can argue and we're not throwing mean-spirited, ugly comments at each other, trying to cut each other apart or deface one another or embarrass or put down one another. The grand objective is to move our company and team forwards. And if we've been heard in the conversation, and if we've had that under foundation built of vulnerability-based trust, then we can have productive conflict and resolved conflicts that are always being mined out of the team members and addressed and discussed. Those are vital. But if you drive straight to conflicts before you've built the vulnerability-based trust, you will destroy any chance you have at creating commitment, accountability, and ultimately results. And so the mistake is to jump into conflict, not conflict resolution, but mining for conflict in your meetings and in your discussions before having effectively built vulnerability-based trust. And as much as we want to do this as leaders, as you're charging through, it takes time. The vulnerability-based trust part, it takes a lot of time for you demonstrating the clarity of the role, the clarity of the vision of the company, the meaning of the company, the values that you're operating with, and how those values are demonstrated and how how they flow into the operations and how they impact each and every person's life. And you're like, man, this is taking forever. How are we ever going to get to vulnerability-based trust? Well, the bigger you are and the more team members that you have, the faster it's built and grown. Because then you're going to, when you hire people, they're going to come into your company, and your hiring process is going to be such that you're going to hire people that can connect, that are open, that are able to get to the vulnerability-based trust level faster, so that you can get to the mining for conflict level, and that you can get to the commitment and the accountability and results. And so I just want to throw that warning out there to the leaders and to people who are building their companies, is you can't drive straight to mining for conflict and solving and doing those conflict conversations until you have effectively and very intentionally built the foundation of vulnerability-based trust. And that's why it's kind of like a pyramid. If you imagine a pyramid, vulnerability-based trust, and then conflict, and then commitment, and then accountability, and then ultimately at the very top, the pinnacle, is the results that you're after. And so I just want to share that with somebody. I hope that helps you to be a little bit better leader, expand your horizons for a little bit, and maybe helps you to understand why some of the meetings you're having may be frustrated when you're trying to drive to the conflict mining before you've really developed the vulnerability-based trust in your team. Thanks for listening today. I hope you like and subscribe to this video for more content just like this, and I hope you go out and win this week.